The armored gaming characters, Arthur Morgan, Trevor Phillips, and Joel Miller, found themselves on the moon, facing off against the armored characters of Assassin's Creed, Connor, Ezio, and Altair. The clash between the two teams was intense, with shockwaves and light energy emanating from every collision. As the battle raged on, the IMP crew from Helluva Boss appeared, but they were quickly defeated by the armored gaming characters. The fighting continued relentlessly, with both teams using their weapons and armor features to gain the upper hand. After hours of fighting, both teams were exhausted and decided to take a break inside a high-tech AI building on the moon. However, their rest was short-lived as they clashed with Tai Lung and Kai from Kung Fu Panda, created by DreamWorks Animation. The battle inside the building was fierce, with even more shockwaves and light energy being emitted from every collision. The armored gaming characters and DreamWorks Animation characters were enraged and aggressive, but they eventually managed to defeat the IMP crew that had entered the building. After the intense fighting, the tired and weary characters settled down on chairs inside the building. They removed their armored helmets and indulged in some fast food meals and chocolate milk to relax and unwind after the exhausting battles they had just endured. Despite the fierce competition, they found a moment of peace and camaraderie as they enjoyed their well-deserved break on the moon. The armored gaming characters, Arthur Morgan, Trevor Phillips, and Joel Miller, found themselves on the moon, facing off against the armored characters of Assassin's Creed, Connor, Ezio, and Altair. The clash between the two teams was intense, with shockwaves and light energy emanating from every collision. As the battle raged on, the IMP crew from Helluva Boss Animated Show appeared, but they were quickly defeated by the armored gaming characters. The fighting continued, with both teams using their weapons and armor features to gain the upper hand. After hours of relentless combat, the armored characters finally took a break and entered a high-tech AI building on the moon. Inside, they encountered Tai Lung and Kai from Kung Fu Panda, created by DreamWorks Animation. The battle that ensued was even more intense, with the characters emitting even more shockwaves and light energy. Despite their exhaustion, the armored gaming characters and DreamWorks Animation characters emerged victorious, defeating the IMP crew once again. They decided to relax and unwind, munching on fast food meals and sipping on chocolate milk. As they sat together, reflecting on the intense battles they had just fought, they realized that despite the differences, they had come together as a team to overcome their enemies. And as they looked out at the moon's surface, they knew that they were ready for whatever challenges came their way in the future. The clash between the armored gaming characters and the DreamWorks Animation characters was intense and relentless. The moon's surface was the battleground for this epic showdown, with shockwaves and light energy emanating from every collision and clash. As the dust settled and the fighting came to a temporary halt, Trevor Phillips broke the tension by declaring his craving for chocolate milk. The other characters chuckled and shared their own thoughts, before deciding to retreat to a high-tech AI building on the moon. Inside the building, they encountered Tai Lung and Kai from Kung Fu Panda, characters created by DreamWorks Animation. The battle resumed, with even more ferocity and aggression than before. The clash of these powerful beings created even more shockwaves and light energy, shaking the very foundation of the building. Just when it seemed like the battle would never end, the IMP team from Helluva Boss Animated Show entered the fray. However, they were swiftly defeated by the combined might of the armored gaming characters and DreamWorks Animation characters. Exhausted from the intense fighting, the characters decided to take a break. They removed their armored helmets and settled down in the building, munching on fast food meals and sipping on chocolate milk. The tension dissipated as they relaxed and enjoyed each other's company, putting aside the differences for the time being. Despite the fierce battles and clashes, a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect emerged among the characters. They may have been enemies on the battlefield, but in the end, they were all warriors seeking a moment of peace and relaxation in the vast expanse of outer space.